Hey everyone, Jedediah Thomas here. I'm here with Abhi. He's one of my clients. We've done some work on him, and he just wanted to share basically how it's gone. So starting off, Abhi, could you just tell everyone who are you and what do you do?
So I'm a business consultant. I help businesses, grow, scale, basically. Mostly work with coaches, consultants, and agencies. So yeah, like that's the kind of work that I do.
Okay, perfect. And so what originally made you want to work with me? Like what problem were you trying to overcome? What challenge did you have in life? Like what was the issue?
Um, I think I don't remember exactly what the problem was, but I guess at that point in time, at least, back in March, what I'm saying. S- right now we're in July. Back in March, my main problem was that like I was always depressed. I was, taking 16, 17, 18 pills every single day, out of which the majority of them was antidepressants and a few were like for like sleeping and stuff, right? So at one day, any given day, I was like taking that many pills just to
Right.
kind of, go through the day, right? And anytime I would get off the pills, I would just get like completely like messed up and I wouldn't be able to like function at all. And every time I would go see the doctors, the psychiatrist that I was seeing, like or psychologist, I don't know, whoever prescribes
Mhm.
pills, that kind of doctor. So
Yeah.
they just kept on listening to what how I'm feeling, and they just kept increasing the dosage of the
Mhm.
pills. Like I would get the pills, like let's say the dosage is 10 mg, whatever. Like I would get the pills. Today it's working, tomorrow it's working. From day 5 or day 4, it's like it's slowly I'm becoming like numb to it, right? And then
Yeah.
what I started to notice was I just stopped even having emotions. It's like
Mhm.
I was like, it's so weird. Like I'm just becoming this weird person. Like, and it wasn't even me. Like, and I was just feeling like drowsy all day, brain fog, and like, yeah, a lot. I was in a mess, right? And I'd seen a lot of psychiatrists, psychologists, like a lot of like professors and like like mind learning institutes and places, but none of them were able to like help me. And I was like, you know what? I've tried so many things. Just give this a shot. It was just like that. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So how bad was that problem in your life? I think I
Oh,
don't know how much you want to share, but like where were you at in your life as a result of those issues?
not good. Not good at all. Oh my god. Like I could not keep any friendship, any relationship, you know, with anyone. It's I just everything just like like it was like nothing was working in my life, like before that point. Okay, like I was just going trying this and trying that. Like, we'll try this business, we'll try that business, um, and like nothing just worked, and I I just couldn't get close to any person. Like I had this constant fear of like oh, this person's gonna betray me, like this person's gonna like try and like take advantage of me in some way or the other. And it, that whole feeling was always like it's like a script that was just running underneath the surface. And yeah, it was honestly like it, it wasn't a pleasant experience. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And so you had mentioned that you were on antidepressants, you had been seeing, psychiatrists, psychologists, you went to different mind institutes. Apart from those, I believe you mentioned that you've tried a lot of other stuff to fix this in the past. Could you talk about some of the different things that you've tried?
um so I like tried a few courses on my own, like from like was it Marissa Peer, I think there was that woman.
Yeah,
And
persevere.
then yeah, and then there was Paul McKenna. I think Paul McKenna's one kind of was like helping me a little bit. Marissa Peer one,
Sure.
it did not help me that much. Paul McKenna one was actually like helping me to like feel relaxed. It would just help me feel
Mm,
relaxed. Like, that's it. Okay, but like like I would have to do it like multiple times a day, to like feel
mm,
relaxed, basically. Um, but outside of that, like I've been to so there in my city. It's I live in Calcutta, so it's like there's this institute like of like research institute here in Calcutta where they study the brain and they study mind and like so I was taken there when I was 22, 21, I forget. So I was taking there to like kind of find out like what why I have these problems. Like I had a lot of learning disabilities. Like I couldn't study. Like they they said that I had ADHD and so on and so forth.
Hmm.
And they did a lot of studies on me, right? And they said that I like I have a few problems and like ADHD and all that, right? But they did not say anything about like my emotional problems or whatever, right? And they did not dive into that aspect. So like, and I couldn't even articulate well enough and explain exactly like what I was like going through. Fast forward almost 10 years later, where I start to notice like like I'm having serious problems with myself. Like I had gotten off of like a bad breakup and it affected me a lot, and i just I just could not function. Like it's like I was, so back in the day I was just like coaching people to sing and play guitar and stuff, and when I would do music I would like just be in this flow and I would like love that state and I would just teach people and it would be good, right? But as soon as I would stop doing that thing, like it's like, oh, one moment I'm so happy, I'm like teaching my students, having fun, and I turn off like the Skype call, Zoom call, whatever, and I start just crying, like for one reason or the other. Like I just couldn't explain. Like it's crazy. And
Hmm.
um so I went to see multiple like therapists, like who would just like talk to me for hours and hours and hours, and nothing would work. And then I was like, what, therapists don't work, right? Somebody else tells me, oh, you might want to try a psychologist, right? And then I go to Google and I search was the best psychologist or whatever that there are like nearby, and like I find, I think, 4 or 5 of them. I go to all of them. I settle on this one person who apparently understands my problems, right? And he says that I have executive dysfunction. Okay, and then I start googling this thing. What is executive dysfunction? And I find out like, and it's like a defect of the brain that can happen
Yeah.
to a person, and it's like you can't control it, all right?
Yeah.
And he gave me all these medicines and all this, right? Done all those, and like nothing was like working. And then in the meantime I even tried those courses and other stuff and nothing working. And yeah, I was kind of getting sick and tired of taking the pills, honestly. Like that many
Yeah.
pills, I was like, I'd like, seen old people take that many pills, like just
Right.
33. Like I shouldn't be taking that many pills.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's when Jed asked me, and I was like, okay, fine, let's try.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So, in terms of like my methodology, um, without kind of going into the how it works, like just talk about what was your experience of it, like how was it working with my methodology versus some of the stuff that you've tried before.
Um, I mean, your methodology, like at least in the beginning, when we were starting to do stuff, I thought you probably like like learned something from NLP or something, and because like I had like learned those things in the past, and no, it wasn't. It
Yeah.
was night and day. I don't know, but like in the conversations we had before our sessions, it felt like maybe you're talking about NLP, but yeah, it was way different. Like honestly, it's like it's something that you do like with your words. That's so like for some reason I just like I just start feeling better. With everything that you do with the systems that you've discovered, I just start feeling better, and I start seeing like like real changes, like
Mm.
like like I start having closure,
Yeah.
in like relationships and in like moments where I did not find the closure, and like that made me like kind of go crazy, or sort of like I could finally be at peace with myself and like not have
Mhm.
to you know prove anything to anybody, sort of. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, and I think, if I recall, even after just one session, you got off all of those pills. You
yeah,
didn't need them anymore.
yeah, true.
And so yeah, so we've done. I've done more work on you than anyone. You've been kind of my guinea pig because I'm still learning and still practicing and
Sure,
trying to
sure,
like really turn this into a science.
sure.
So we've been working together time wise. If you said March, so that's what, like 4 months, which is
Yeah.
not very long,
Hmm.
not very long at all, but we've had probably what, 20 sessions, I would say.
Maybe more.
And yeah, maybe more, but a
Yeah,
lot of that was just trying to figure out what I was targeting. So it wasn't actually, the methodology. So we've gotten to the point where we got to some of the like the real core issues, and like even just in, today and yesterday, the shifts that you've been having
Right.
are like really, really incredible. Um, could you talk a little bit about how it's been working with me as a coach, as a person, as a practitioner?
Um, like, like, the biggest problem I used to have with the other people that I worked with before was I was just a number to them, you know. And with you, like, I feel like I'm like actually heard, like, that you actually deeply care, that you actually want me to, like, be better,
Yeah,
and that is just, yeah, like, I don't know if I can explain this better, but yeah, like, that you actually deeply truly care, like that's the biggest difference. Yeah.
yeah,
And when you're like doing stuff, it's like you're actually trying to figure out, and not like just like prescribe this and like let this person
mhm,
deal with it, whatever. So yeah,
right.
it's incredible.
Awesome. Okay. And so we talked about some of the problems you had gone through, how it was showing up in your life, the things that you've tried to fix it. What results do you have now? Like, who are you now as a person as
Oh
a
wow.
result of the work that we've done?
Oh, my life has completely changed for the better in the past 4 months. Like complete 180. Like if someone would have told me that this was what how my life would be in February, you know, I would have said like no, no way, no way, not possible. So I was living with my parents in up until I would say what, April, or it was May. No, 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 May. Yeah, so mid May. Okay, mid of May. I was up till then, like I was like living with my parents, all my life, and living with my parents. I mean, it's pretty common for Indians to do that, but the difference in my scenario was I was living with a very, very abusive parent, my biological father, basically. And I was paying for everything around the house since 2014, actually, like since almost 10 years, like 9 years maybe, yeah. And the problem was that I somehow kind of, like even though he had this very bad energy towards me and towards everybody in the world, not just me, like he's a very negative person, and I don't want to kind of go into too long about that because I'm gonna go on and on. Like I just could not somehow escape that situation. I somehow kind of wanted his approval or some shit, and it's like that just kept me there and kept me living in this place where I just kept repeating the same day and the same month and the same year over and over for almost like 9 years, like literally. Okay. And after working on a few sessions, I was able to see clearly what's wrong. I was able to see clearly, like, how to fix the problems that I couldn't even see because, like, because again, I couldn't see them. So, um, yeah, within 2 months, I got out of the house. I started working with some of the biggest clients. I started like I literally, like I would say, like 10x my income, right? It's and I'm I'm finally like happy, like it's incredible, like happiness almost feels this foreign emotion to me, like right now it's just like it's like a new thing that I'm feeling. Like I never felt this happy and this liberated and this complete before this. And yeah, like like my personal own self-talk has improved. Um along with this, like, you know the way I speak with others, the conversations I have with others, like they feel that I really care. Like I always cared for people, but then for some reason something I was not able to portray those things, like
Hmm.
before. Sales conversations, like, and especially the biggest thing was like sales, like, I was able to persuade. And like, I don't know, persuasion is a word people kind of use, like, to kind of, it's got a very negative connotation to it, but like I'm able to persuade people to, like, for their own good, like it's like I'm able to, like, objection handle, like my sales, like before this, like, like I was converting at like maybe 10, 15, max 20%, but once I've like gone through your sessions, honestly, man, like it's like I'm selling at 50, 60%. Like,
Hmm.
insane. Like it's like there's no other reason why they will not buy. It's crazy. And it's like the only thing is like, you've just kind of made me like like speak to people that, like with like it's like heart to heart sort of, like that I can like really
Yeah.
understand, and I can use the tools of persuasion for good so that they can
Mhm.
change their lives, for the better. And I feel it's just incredible. Like, yeah.
Yeah, and that's really interesting because like you have been through some of the premier best sales trainings in the
Right.
industry and you
Right.
had all of the knowledge there. Like you had the
Right. Right.
stuff, you just couldn't access it on a
Yeah.
sales call.
No.
And then so when I kind of cleared some of the issues up, right?
Yeah.
It's like you didn't learn anything new. You just were able to perform immediately because
Yeah.
it was already there,
Yeah.
right? So it's like, being able to access your hard drive kind of for the first time.
Sure. Sure.
um, and then the other thing that you had mentioned, I think is really, really, really powerful is that you said you were reliving the same day 9 years in a row,
Yeah.
right? And that's exactly how trauma happens, right? You get traumatized and your brain doesn't know how to resolve it. And so what it tries to do is replay the situation. And when that doesn't resolve it in your mind, it recreates circumstances in your external world, trying to recreate the circumstances to resolve it because it doesn't know any other way to do it. Right. And so what I do
Wow.
is I break that trauma loop so that you can not only do you see clearly, like you said, you now you know why you had the problem, but now it's gone, right? Like you no longer have to relive those trauma situations because they're not there anymore, right? So it's fully liberating, and you can do literally now anything that you want to do and not be controlled by your past. So that was really powerful.
Wow.
Okay, so in terms of I guess kind of like the last couple questions here. Would you recommend me to other people? Let's say people are
Wow.
watching this interview, they're on the fence, like, should they work with me? And why?
Oh yeah, 100%. Again, like that's just, I mean, that's is the obvious thing. Of course, they should be working with you. Why they should be working with you is like, I mean, it's like this, right? It's like before people had a refrigerator, it's like people would not know that they needed a refrigerator. Like they're like, oh, like I could just like buy fruits or buy meat or whatever it is, but it's like, but it's like you don't know you don't know until you use it. It's like it's crazy to explain this, right? It's like the biggest problem I think people will have is like even believing this,
Mhm.
honestly, because I had a like I knew you before that, and I had trouble believing. I, honestly, like and this is a problem that I'm still wanting to fix for you. Like if I could do
Yeah.
something so that we can fix this together for you. Like it's like honestly, it's just how it sounds, it's like it's too good to be true because
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah.
not. It's reality, but it sounds it's too good to be true. It's like
Right.
one of those ads that you see. Oh, so and so person quit KFC and made millions. Like it's like what? Right? So like
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's like no, this is real. Okay, like why people should work with you because they don't even know like what is causing them to, let's say, underperform like at let's say their job or their marriage or their them being a parent, like like why are you the way you are? It's because of whatever has happened to you from the time you were a kid, right? It's like everything that's happened to you, all the traumas, the good, the bad, everything, like mostly the bad, is it has made you the person that you are today, like period. Like I've like listened to so many like different artists in music, right? Like I can tell you like 9 out of 10 of them are writing stuff because of what they felt as a kid. Like nine out of
Right.
10 of them, right? And same thing goes with like authors. Like it's all that that when they were children, like they were not allowed to do this or this, or they had this sort of abuse, this sort of trauma. Like it's like, so chances are that 9 out of 10 people in the world, or if not everyone, is operating with a lot of trauma, with a lot of shit. Maybe not as much as how much I had dealt, right, or how much you have gone through. Maybe it's like, but you definitely have gone through stuff. And at whatever level that you are right now performing at, you could like literally be performing at 10x better than that. Like the fears that you have right now that's holding you back, those fears could be like removed, like eradicated. It's like it was there and it's not there. Sort of, it's like David Blaine, like magic, sort of like it's
Yeah.
you, you have to do it to believe it. Like that's all I can say. Is like it
Right.
sounds insane. I know as I'm saying this, it sounds insane. Like honestly, like it does. Like if Jed would have said this to me, you know, before our call, exactly this, I would be like, get the fuck out of here, man. No way. Right? It's like, but honestly, once I've done it, I'm like, oh my god, yeah, let's do more. Let's do more. I want to find out more of this. Like,
Mhm.
and honestly, it's like whatever your problems are, like one after the other, you will start actually resolving them.
Yeah.
And all the people that you see in the movies or in the TV shows or whatever, like, and you're inspired by, you can become one of those people in your own life, and not have to deal with all the shit that you're carrying around. Like let's say the baggage that you have from the last relationship, the baggage that you have from poor childhood, the baggage that you had from like a bad like work relationship with this boss. Like imagine if that did not exist. How awesome would you be right now? Right? Like imagine if you did not doubt yourself. How awesome would you be right now? Imagine if you like the limits that you put in yourself, if those limits were not there. That's it. Like you can literally program yourself for success. Like that's what I can just say. So yeah,
Right.
it's incredible.
Yeah, there's like that show where you like take a pill and it like makes you superhuman or something, and it sounds too
Sure,
good to be true, but like that's exactly what I do without any drugs, anything
sure,
like that. And
sure,
each
sure.
fix takes what, 5 minutes, maybe
Yeah,
10 minutes, depending on how long it takes to explain
sure,
it. But
sure,
once
sure.
it's done, it never comes back, right? So it's
100%.
um like it works, right? So,
Yeah,
but yeah, when we talk about it, they're like, yeah, sounds too good to be true. So
yeah.
we'll work on that. I'll have to figure out how to make it sound less good so people
That's good.
actually do it. But okay, cool. So you're it's a good problem to have, by the way.
Can you like explain this to like any other business in the world? Like, you know what? Like, like if it's like a restaurant, like, you know what? The food that you cook is just a little too good. Can you like make it a little bit worse so people
Right,
will like
right,
want to
right.
come and eat? Like, what? What?
I saw a movie like that. It was Once Upon a Time in Mexico. The guy's like CIA, and he goes to a restaurant and he orders like the same thing that he always does. And when he leaves, he like shoots the chef because he's like,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was
yeah,
too
yeah, I
good,
remember.
right?
I
I,
remember.
I have to maintain balance in the world, so I had to whack the chef.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember. Yeah. It was Johnny Depp, I think. That's the
Yeah,
character, I
yeah,
think. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I remember.
exactly. Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah. 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 Sure, I remember. Oh my
Yeah,
god,
so
yeah.
please, nobody shoot me, please. But it works, right? So,
Yeah. Oh my
oh my gosh.
god.
All right.
There's two balance in the world.
Oh my gosh. All
That
right.
is
So,
Thanos
okay.
1.1, 1.0.
Right.
It's like,
Yeah. I'll get
oh
there.
my
I'll get
god.
like I'm not yet to the point where I can just look at you and fix your problems, but I'm sure I'll get there within like 3 months. So,
Right, right.
all right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, cool. So, in terms of like what you do like with the business consulting, could you just describe kind of like your perfect client, and if they're watching this, how can they reach out to you and find out about what you do?
Sure, yeah. Like basically, the kind of people that we work with are, it's like if you're a coach that's like making anywhere between like mid five figures to like, like six figures, like, the biggest problem that these businesses have is, like battling the rising cost of ads. Okay. And basically to have like a good lead flow of ads coming in all year long. It's like that's like the hardest thing that to like fix, right? So what we do usually is like we help coaches, consultants just like these to build a good organic flow of leads that comes through YouTube. Because what we have found is like like think of the last time when you wanted to learn a certain thing. Maybe it was cook a certain dish that you wanted to make. Maybe it was how to wear this bow tie, like how to wear a shoelace. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you're learning to wear a shoelace at this when you're an adult, then it's crazy. But anyways, like you go to YouTube, right? You go to YouTube. The thing is, what we do is like we help you like rank your videos in such a way so that the ideal people when they're searching for like content like yours, right? They see your stuff, right? And then we have our unique formula where we are able to like get this person to basically join in your community, learn more about you, book in a call with you, and basically like buy, right? And then we have the system where we are able to like help you start doing podcasts with like related people, and we are able to like create more leads for you while reducing the price that you're paying for those leads, right? And also like not having to like deal with the mess of like running ads, then ad fatigue kicks in, then making new creatives and this and that, and like worrying too much about that stuff, right? So yeah, basically that's what we help do.
Okay, and how can they find you? How can they reach out to you if they are
Yeah,
thinking
they can
about
reach out
working
to
with
my
you?
Facebook. They can go to our website, youtubeclients.com, and yeah, like our they can like write to us at admin@youtubeclients.com, right? Or abby@youtubeclients.com. Feel free to reach out.
Awesome. Okay. And I'm Jedediah Thomas, and you can basically only find me on Facebook. If you're watching this interview, you know what I look like. Just find me.
Right,
I post about mind stuff, memes, funny stuff. So just look out for that.
right.
Shoot me a DM if there's stuff that you're looking at, struggling with in your mind, traumas, limiting beliefs, anything. At this point, I'm pretty um yeah, reach out to me. Abby, do you have any like last minute closing words, anything?
Yeah, I mean like the thing is, what I would encourage people, if you have watched this far, like it's just give it a shot, legit. That's all. Is like, unless you give it a shot, just one session. Unless you have one session with him, you won't know how good this is. Okay, nobody can explain this to you. This is, I'm yet to find words to explain this. It's like I wish I could. But it's like you just gotta give this a shot. One session later, you will see how much of a difference it makes. That is all that I like to say.
All right. Well, Abby, appreciate your time very
Thank
much,
you.
and thank you all
Appreciate you
for
too, man.
watching.
Thanks.